Okay, we're live. Apologies for the slight delay. I pressed go live on StreamYard and it just kind of sat there. I didn't have any control over that. So sorry about that. We're a minute or two late, but you're very welcome. Live chat 73 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner. Here from London town in a rather hot London. Summer has finally arrived. It's about 32 degrees, I think, here today. In fact, in my office, it is 28, and that's indoors. Humidity is 50%, so joy. But at last we got some summer, so we can't be complaining about that. Just want to check there's some people out there. Can you see this okay? Does it sound okay? Laptop's in front of me. I'll see your messages as they pop up. So you're very welcome here. Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 73. I can't believe we've done 73 of these, but we have. It's good to see you. Come on in if you're looking for the best bass chat here on YouTube. You've just found it, so come on in. Come and get involved. Keith Doherty, good to see you. Yes, all good. Excellent. And is the sound okay? Steph is there. Good to see you. All loud and clear. Jason Rice, excellent. Splendid. Dawson, good to see you back. It's all about the bass. Quite right, sir. So if you found us via YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or X or Threads or let me think what else, YouTube community page, come on in. As I said, this is the best live chat for bass on YouTube. So come and get involved. You can get involved via the text version on the chat window or the new improved fabulous new facility we've got where you guys can actually come onto the live chat by video. Last week we had 7 or 8 people sort of coming in and out of the conversation. Week before there were 3 of us. I can have 8 of you online at one time. So how do you get involved in that way? If you send an email to me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com, you will, I need to just put this on there at the bottom of the screen. There's a ticker going across. brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. That'll come into my email. I will then send you an invite to join the video feed, and then I'll pull you in as soon as I get a chance and get an opportunity. If you've not come on one of the Brooksy's Bass Corner live chats before, here's how it works. So basically, we're talking about bass. We're talking bass guitars, bass amps, bass pedals, accessories, gig bags, strings, how to set a bass up, how to build a pedal board, how to do your first audition on bass if you've never done one before. Talking about great bass players, albums with great bass playing on. You want to talk about great bands with great bass players. I'm wearing a t-shirt for one. Hopefully you can see all that, or maybe not. Toto had a couple of rather good bass players in their time, still have. John Pierce is fabulous. So if you want to come on, talk about any bass players you like, or gear, how to be a bass player, how to make a living as a bass player, doing bass on YouTube. You want to talk about writing for magazines. I have experience in that. I did 18 years for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player Magazine. So the floor is open. Let's see, what else do we need to do? So coming on to the live chat, we're talking all things bass. So if you don't want to come onto the screen by video, basically there's a chat window on the right hand side if you're here on YouTube. If you're on the mobile app, it's straight down below this video window. If you're on the desktop, PC, Mac, it's that way. Okay, and basically there's a text box at the bottom. You put your insertion point in. That sounds rude, doesn't it? I'm sorry. Brains going at 100 miles an hour. Put your cursor in the text box. Type your question or whatever you want to say. Press return. It will fire up here into my chat window. I can then respond. And if it's asking a question I don't know, I'll open it up to the floor and let these fabulous people here get involved. If I don't know the answer, one of them probably does. Jason Rice joining in sounds scary. No, you know what we're like here, Jason. We're a very accommodating bunch of people. So, you know, no misbehaving, no rude stuff. If you come onto the live chat and you're obnoxious and nasty, you'll be booted off the channel. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So I want to keep this all nice and friendly, and we're very what's the word, supportive of each other. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. So that's how you do the text live chat. Next to the live chat window, you'll see the emoji icon. Feel free to give that an absolute pummeling. The more emojis in the live chat, the better. Next to that, you'll see a rectangle with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Chat. If you wish to make a donation towards the channel, that's how you do it. Click the Super Chat button, donate to the channel, done. If you enjoy the videos, enjoy this video, enjoy the channel, that's how you can help to support the channel. You can also buy Brooksy's Bass Corner merch. Got the old cap on. Haven't got a t-shirt on this week. I thought the Toto one would look rather pleasant on the camera. And so you can do that. There's also the super thanks facility. So if ever you're watching a video on the channel and you think, I really needed to know what Mike's talking about there, or if we're doing a workshop video and I explain to you how to do something, you think, actually, that's helped me a lot. You can help the channel again financially using the super thanks option, and that exists on every video here on the channel. We're a monetized channel, so hopefully all your super chats, super thanks, merch, views, comments, shares, likes, it all goes into the melting pot, and it helps to keep the channel running. So everything you see here on the channel, all the products, the reviews, the demos, the workshop stuff, all the equipment, leads, audio interfaces, graphics stuff, this all gets paid for out of my pocket. And so any super chat, super thanks, merch, donations, very much appreciated. So that's the text version of the live chat. Now, if you want to come onto the screen and talk to me and talk to the other people, I can open it up and there'll be multiple people here on the chat window. As I say, at the bottom, there's a ticker running along the bottom of the screen, which is there. Yeah, so if I go that way, you'll see it's running across. So basically, you send me an email, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. It'll appear here in my inbox. I can then send you an invite, and then it's up to you as and when in the evening you wish to join us here on the live chat. In the description box below, you're going to find description. You'll find timestamps when this video is uploaded onto YouTube, so within the next 12 hours. So if you're watching this after the event, you can still get involved in the conversation. Obviously not in the live chat window, but you can leave comments and I'll come back to you. If you've got any questions about what's in this video or anything else on the channel, leave a comment and I'll come back to you as soon as I see it. After the description, you're going to find timestamps, which will be in the video probably by tomorrow. You'll then find affiliate links for the merchandise, of course. So there's UK and Europe, and then US and worldwide through Spreadshirt and spreadshop.com. In there, you'll find t-shirts, hoodies, caps, hats, tons, well, literally 150 items across 15 designs. So literally every item can have any of the designs that are there in the merch store. So feel free if you want to buy some merch. You'll find affiliate links for vidIQ, StreamYard, of course, Top Cashback. And then if you're thinking about buying any bass related equipment, amps, cabinets, basses, pedals, accessories, strings, gig bags, straps, leads, the opportunities are endless. Of course, we're affiliated with Amazon worldwide, Thomann in Germany, here in Europe, Gear for Music, and Andertons here in the UK. So if you've got any bass related purchases, you can help the channel out. If you know the item you want, go onto one of those suppliers using the affiliate links in the description box, find your item, add it to your basket. When you go through with the sale and complete the transaction, Brooksy's Bass Corner gets a small affiliate cashback, kickback, if you like. We don't get the whole price, of course. We get a very small amount, and it is a small amount, I can assure you. But all those small amounts become a bigger amount the more people buy stuff. And actually, the more the affiliate links get used, the bigger discounts come my way that I can then hand over to you guys by using the affiliate links. So if you guys buy regularly through Amazon, Gear for Music, Thomann, or Andertons, over time, bigger discounts will come the channel's way, which I can then pass on to you. So that's how that all works. Then after the affiliate links and the merch links, you're going to find the social media links. So you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Be Real, Discord, Quora, Reddit, and TikTok. And that's it. So who've we got? We've got Keith Doherty on. We've got Steffi all the way from Germany. Jason Rice, good to see you. Dawson from Canada. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. I'm just going to quickly check. Have we got any emails yet? No, we haven't. Better just check the spam box in case they've gone into there. Hopefully not. Hey, no, we're looking good. We're looking good. Okay. So what have we been up to? Well, I had a couple of gigs last week. I had a very nice festival gig at Santa Pod up in Wellingborough in Northamptonshire, playing for the VW Action Festival on Friday. Last year we did Saturday. This year we did the Friday, and it went very well. It was a great night, great show, very enjoyable. And then Saturday I had a Queen tribute gig in Verwood, which is down near Bournemouth on the south coast. So we were at Verwood Hub with Crazy Little Thing Called Queen. An interesting show. Something happened that has never happened to me in 30 years. Well, 29 years as a professional musician and 37 in terms of total bass playing. So I've been playing since I was 15, and I've never, ever, ever done a live gig, whether it's a paying audience or people are in a pub and you're just the band hired by the pub. I've never done a show where the band has gone on and the singer didn't appear. Yet 2 minutes before, he was behind us in the queue, ready to come out on the stage. So we're there waiting to go on. No members of staff, weirdly, telling us when to go on or 5 minutes till curtain and all of that thing. There was no staff to be seen. The lighting guy was up in the booth, but no other staff. And our singer was the Freddie. He was in the changing room, and he was changed, and we were all changed, and we're looking at the clock, and it's 7:30. It's right, time to go, chaps. And so we stuck our head round the door so we could look into the auditorium. People were still coming in, taking their seats. So it kind of, we said, look, let's give it 5 minutes. Yeah, because people are coming out of the bar. If we go on, there's going to be a bit of a rush and it won't be great. So let's give them 5 minutes, get seated, and we'll start 5 minutes later. So we kept looking. Then there came the point where people aren't coming in. They're all seated. And we're like, right, time to go then. Now, we all thought our Freddie was right behind us, but he wasn't. He'd gone back in the changing room. And the problem was the changing room had big, really thick fire doors. So he couldn't hear anything that was happening on the stage. So while he's waiting, he's nipped off to the toilet. And we've gone. And we've already started the opening backing track for One Vision, which has got keys and effects and stuff on. He can't hear that we've gone. So he goes back in the changing room, shuts the door. And we're playing. And we're going through the intro of One Vision. I'm thinking he better turn up in a minute because he still isn't here. And he had absolutely no clue that we'd gone. I don't know what possessed him. And the guitarist literally had to start singing the first verse of One Vision, which is fine because our guitarist has a relatively good voice and can pitch into Freddie pitch pretty good. The singer was nowhere to be seen. Eventually, he sort of bowled onto the stage. Probably the best term I can come up with, to be fair. And he looked totally at sixes and sevens, as though he was completely bamboozled by the whole situation. And when we got off at half time, I said to him, right, I can either have a stern word with you, or you can just tell me what happened. And he said, I didn't know where you guys had gone. I said, well, you knew we were stood by the door. You were right behind us. He said, I went to the toilet. I said, right, well, in the time you went to the toilet, we went on stage. Would it not have occurred to you that we'd gone out? He said, I thought you might have been over the other side of the stage. It was like, well, no, you knew we were right here. I said, so did it not dawn on you to stick your head out of the changing room door, or at least around the corner so you could look onto the stage and see we were there? He said, I couldn't hear anything. The doors were so thick. I said, all right. I said, I can't change anything. It's happened now. But I said, please don't ever do that to me again. I said, after nearly 4,500 gigs. That has never happened to me, where I've stood there and just wanted the stage to literally open up for us to just get swallowed up by it. It was not great. So if you were at Verwood Hub last Saturday, I can only apologize. I'm very sorry. We've bought him a hearing aid, so that doesn't happen again. And dare I say it, the whole show went great, apart from that little misnomer. And at the end, crowd were going nuts, absolutely nuts. And they wanted us to come out and do some photos with the audience and what have you. So we did all of that, and everyone seemed very complimentary. So thank you very much, Verwood. It was a pleasure. See you soon. And next time I'll make sure I boot him out of the door onto the stage before the rest of us. Okay. Promise you that. So that was an interesting gig. So going back a day, the day before, I had a new bass purchase. So I'd had my eye on a bass that a friend was selling for a number of weeks, possibly months, and decided to take the plunge. So I'm just calling up my analytics here for this live chat so I can see everything's going on. I assume everything is okay out there. So I'm just going into the live control room. Here we go. I can see it all. Good. It's all working. Excellent. Yeah, so a new bass purchase. So I'd had my eye on this. It's to my right here. So it was new bass day officially on Friday, of course, but I haven't posted it up on social media or any of my socials or the channel socials. So you guys here on the live chat are going to get to see my new bass, obviously joining the ranks of the others first. So let me just check that everything's there fine. Looks to be. Jason, Britt, I did a gig in Eastcote once. I was chatting to the guitarist, turned around. When I turned back, he was gone. Turns out he'd fallen through the stage. I've seen that happen. I've seen guitarists fall off the back of stages as well. Couldn't happen to nicer people, Jace. You know, right. So back on track, new bass. So you guys here on Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 73, are getting the first viewing. So, here we go. Some of you may, I know I'm working around the microphone here, but it is what it is. Some of you may know what this is as soon as you see it, and some people may not. So, are you ready? So, new bass, number 39 in the collection, as it currently stands. I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, microphone's there, Mike, that's good. This is an Alembic Persuader, not a spoiler. Some people keep saying it's a spoiler. It's not. It's a Persuader. There's a P in the serial number. First part, the serial number. Made in 1990. Custom order. So Persuader used to have split coil and single coil PJ setup. The original customer for this bass spec'd humbucker AXY Alembic pickups. It's got the pointed headstock, not the crown headstock that you normally associate with Alembics. 32-inch scale, Koa top. Look at that. Doesn't look so glamorous, so I can see it on the camera screen. But actually, when you're next to it, you can actually see it's almost got like a flame grain. It's a flame Koa in there. Trying to see if I can get it. You'll start seeing it if I get it close. There you go. How about that? 34 years old. And it sounds great. So I'm going to plug it in. Now, I realize because of the seat I'm on and where the camera is, that you're not going to see much of the bass when I'm playing it unless I have it up here, which looks a bit ridiculous, but we'll see. Let me try and raise the strap a little. I can. Different strap to my usual gigging straps. So bear me a moment. And I hope you're all safe and well out there. Hope your bass playing's going great. If any of you did gigs over the weekend, I hope it was fab. So it's a much simplified Alembic setup. So these came out, I think, around the kind of the mid to late 80s with the Persuaders. And it was basically they already had the spoilers, but apparently this is a downgrade from the spoiler. Doesn't sound like a downgrade to me. And it was so they could show off the PJ pickups. They didn't have a bass in their range that did the PJ thing, and obviously the customer for this wanted the humbuckers. So there we have it. And you haven't got like a myriad of controls which you normally get with Alembics. It's quite simple. It's literally a volume, 2 volumes, and a filter. You're going to hear the filter. So really simple, really easy, nice to wear, not a long neck like most Alembics. And it actually feels like a 34-inch scale, but again, because of the way Alembic do things with their bridges, everything's kind of inlaid that way. So the medium scale starts from that point on the bridge to the nut. It's 32-inch scale. So it's a nice reach as opposed to the full 34-inch scale big bodied basses, which obviously some of you have seen here on the channel before, which would make it, let me see, how I got to go that way. Yeah, if we had 34-inch scale, you're going to be looking at like up here. So yeah, so this is a much comfier affair. So I need to put my headphones on so I can actually hear what I'm playing. And hopefully you guys are going to be able to hear this all too, without any interference or sound, with a bit of luck. Oh my, your headphones are all over the shop here. So it's been a very busy day here at Brooks Towers. We've had lots of stuff going on, and not aided by the hot weather, I must say. Right, let's have a listen. Are we in? It's quiet. It might be the volume control. Oh, it is. That's the cue, right? That's good. So that's that. Yep. Yep. So I'm going to turn this up so you guys get a bit more. Bear with me a moment. Headphone cables getting everywhere. So I'll solo the pickups for you. You can get a neck pickup. Yep, neck pickup. Okay. So this is that pickup. Now, if I start fiddling around with the filter, you're going to hear that wah effect. Here we go. Was that grabbing you? Toys, you see. Okay, switch to the other pickup, just a back pickup, of course. It's like a wah-wah pedal, isn't it? That's what a filter is. So we go for both pickups. It's very good. It's a whole lot simpler to play than the other Alembics I have. Let me just expand this. Bear with me a moment. I need to do that, don't I? Just bear with me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. It's in there, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's in layout. So I'm just trying to get rid of the I don't want the background image. Go. There we go. So you can see a bit more what's going on. but it's a whole lot simpler to play. There's a lot less to get your head around in terms of individual filters for each pickup, cue switches, all of that caper. Active, of course. Trim pot in the cavity. Ebony fingerboard. There's no laminates or anything. It's straight through. I think it's one piece maple. Or am I wrong? No, three. Sorry, 3-piece maple without any purple heart or walnut laminates going on. Typical Alembic clarity that you'd expect, but I'm very happy with it. It's going to be coming out on some Uncle Funk shows very shortly. I'm probably going to change the strings. The action just needs a little bit of adjustment, so it'll be going on the workbench very shortly. It's not that hard to set these up. People always look at them and think they're really hard. They're not. There's a sequence of instructions on the Alembic.com club from one of their setup technicians for all the basses and stuff, and they tell you the order in which to adjust the nut, the bridge, pickup height, all of that stuff. So it's very straightforward. It's as difficult as you want to make it. I'm not sure though if it's a twin truss rod bass. It might be a single. It's a 1990 bass anyway. It's a joy to play, I can tell you that. Okay, I can see some comments firing in. Yeah, Jason, that's awesome. Did Mark King have one of those? No, he did use a distillate, or distillate, whichever you want to call it, when he first started using Alembics, because it was going to take some time for them to make what he wanted. So he had a distillate, which I think is owned by a guy in Holland now, and then he had the first Series 1, which is now owned by John Randall, and then probably about 6 months after that, his long scale Cocobolo quilted maple basses came through, and then obviously he wanted the medium scale ones, and they came a little later on. But no, I don't think he ever had a Persuader. Prince's bass player, Levi Seeker Jr., and a lot of Prince's bass players, okay, Larry Graham and Rhonda Smith and Ida Nielsen being exceptions. I'm not sure if the basses that were used by Prince's bass players up until about 1991 were his basses that he got the band to play, or whether they did actually belong to the bass players, because Brown Mark used to use, I think it was a spoiler, which was white, and then Levi Seeker Jr. had a black spoiler, which on the Sign of the Times shows and the live video. Brown Mark was on the Parade stuff, the Purple Rain, Around the World in a Day. Before that, the bass player was using a jazz, Purple Jazz. So yeah, but it's great, just lovely, typical Alembic. All the nice little touches, great craftsmanship, everything you expect. Dawson, cool video request sent. I will check it in a minute. You like the inlays, Steffi? Yes, they're lovely. Mother of Pearl ovals. Now on the Mark King bass I've got, there are LEDs in the inlays. But yeah, 34 years. A couple of the inlays are going a little discolored here. I may get in touch with Alembic to see if that's something they expect to happen, or if there's a way I can clean them up a bit, or if that's just maybe the shade they were You can see, I don't know if you'll get the full gist. So that one there is sort of quite white. This one here kind of has a bit of a yellowy aspect to it, and that one darker shades of mother and pearl, I think. And that one up there is a darker color as well. So you probably can't see it on the camera, but yeah. Did you say you had 39 basses? Yes, I did, James. For my sins, yes. But they all get used one way or another, and now with the channel, they really come into their own. So when I'm doing comparison videos and I need to demo different stuff, I've got stuff to pick from. 39's nothing. The guy I bought this from has a collection somewhere in the region of about 120. And my good friend Gary Banton, if you're out there, Gary, he's got a similar sized collection as well. So 39's nothing, mate, really. I'm just going to adjust my headphones here so we can get them in stereo. That'd be great. Oh, there we go. There we are. I can hear you properly. Let's see. Lefty bassist. Hello, all from South Carolina. Good to see you, David. Hope you're well. Mr. David Gill joining us all the way from the South Carolina. Right. Let's have a look on the email front. See what we've got here. Cool. That'll be Dawson. Right. 2 seconds. I just got to send you the invite, mate. Yeah. So anyone bought anything like me? Anyone had a new bass day? New gear, new pedals, new amps, accessories, anything on the go? If you have, let us know. Give me a moment. That's what I'm after. Got all my windows over in the wrong place today. Sorry, there's a lot of fiddling on this laptop. Here we go. Dawson, invite is heading your way. Cool. Very good. That's all good. Okie dokes. There we are. When you accept the invite, I'll see you pop up here on my screen. It's not great for anyone watching it. All they can see is me looking down. I'll have to rectify this for future live chats. I'll get the camera further back and you'll get a bit more of the view. Just checking the comments. Sorry, the comments are whizzing by here. Jason, 120 basses. Jesus, that's impressive. You have 5. Yeah, but if you only need 5, that's cool. That's fine. You know, some people only ever need 1. For years, I didn't need really more than 3. And then life and career takes over, and suddenly you need things, certain guitars for certain projects. You start doing tribute work, that becomes even more a thing. And now at the age of 52, I'm building a collection that's going to be worth a bit one day. Well, actually it's worth a bit now, but yeah, 120 basses. Yeah, I couldn't even begin to match that. I dread to think what the insurance bill is. Lefty basses, there's a few more than my 2. That's all right. Tis what it is. Don't worry about it. Jason, I bought a budget 6-string bass, a Harley Benton for 90 quid. Well, the Harley Benton, you know, no stranger to them here on the channel. I've got a Marquis bass over there, which was £128 a year ago. You love it, but have discovered that I'd prefer a 5-string. Yeah, 6s can be a little tricky, and that's a big chunk of wood you got to carry around if you're going to play it live. You've seen nice Ibanez 5-string headless that I fancy. Yeah, the Ibanez headlesses seem to be very much in vogue at the moment. I keep seeing more and more people using them. Every weekend after everyone's done all their gigs, I'd have a look on Facebook and see lots of photos and clips of various bass players with headless Ibanez basses. So very popular. George Gandara, good to see you. Welcome. I don't think you've been on the channel, certainly not on the live chat before. You have only 3. That's cool. If that's what you need, 3's a good number. 2 28-inch bass. Wow. And 130. Watching from Chile. Well, love to Chile, you know. So you're a fan of shorter scale basses, clearly. But if that's your thing, it's all good. No one says what you have to have and what you haven't got to have. What works for you is what works for you, you know. I hadn't planned on buying one of these, but whenever the name, oh, Stacey's here, good to see you, welcome. If ever I see the name Alembic in a bass advert, it's got my interest. Usually Alembic, Status, Kubicki, GB. Shall we stop there or carry on? I mean, I could list Dingwall, Spectre, you know, Yamahas, JDs. If I see that in an advert, I'm going to have a look. So, like I say, it was a mate of mine that had this, and I don't think he's had it that long. I think he bought off someone off Bass Chat about a year and a half ago. And he just said, there's something else I really, really want, and I'm not playing this, so it needs to go. I was like, well, fine, I'll take it off your hands. So, but I've always been a fan of the Persuaders and the spoiler Alembics. So this came up, opportunity. He's done a very good job cleaning it all up and making it look nice. And, you know, all the brass is looking good and the thing just plays great. Although I still think the G string is a little high for my liking, but I'll sort that when I get it on the workbench. Quick truss rod tweak, possibly just raise that side of the bridge. Alembic bridges are a funny thing. You don't have individual height options for each string. It's all one unit, so you can only move it from side to side. Oh, there's Dawson. We can see you're out for a walk, my friend. Yeah, I'm just going to unmute your mic. Here we go.
Hello.
I'm running, sir.
If it's too loud, just let me know.
Oh, hold on. No, we can't hear you at the moment.
Check, 1, 2.
Get your... It's not showing anything for your microphone.
Check, 1, 2.
Something's not happening here for Dawson. We can't hear.
Okay.
You can hear him, but I can't hear him. Okay. Let's see if we can work this one out. There's always something each week, isn't there? Right, let's go to settings, see if there's anything there. Edit his mic settings. Let's take that off.
Check, 1, 2.
Now talk to me.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I'm getting it. You guys can hear him and I can't, then there's something wrong with StreamYard. Great. Okay. Let me see if I can find where I can do this. Okay. For some reason, I'm not getting him. I'm sorry, Dawson. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to click on the having issues button. Yeah. Yeah, I can't hear. Yeah, see if they can answer that. Oh, that's going to take too long. Sorry, guys and girls. This is the joy of doing the video thing. Sometimes it works great, and sometimes there's just issues. No, that's all good. And you guys can hear me. Don't know what was happening there. The joy of StreamYard should all be nice and easy. For some reason, it's not having it. Let me just see the comments. Right. Let's have a look here. Cool. Comments are flying by. I've got to catch up here. Bear with me a moment, guys and girls. Right, let's catch this up. Right, Steffi, I've been shopping this week. Bought a bass bag, excellent. 2 straps, superb. The Vox Amplug 3 bass amp, and booked my online bass course today. Excellent. Congratulations, Steffi. Already had a quick look at it. Looks fine. Splendid. I'm very pleased. That's good. That's progress. George Gandara, small hands and starting at 70. Age is irrelevant. If you enjoy doing it and you get a lot of enjoyment out of playing bass, then you go for it. Whatever works for you, my man. Whatever works for you. Starting at 70, that is no excuse. So, you know, if you enjoy your bass playing and you enjoy making music, then that's good enough. Stacey Ann, lefty bassist, you're in North Carolina. It's David Gill. Stace. Steffi says hello to Stacey. Stacey says hello to Steffi. Jason telling me you can hear him. You can all hear Dawson and I can't. Okay. Jason, do you play any other instruments apart from bass? No, I don't. I'm a keyboard player that picked up the bass but prefer playing it than keys. Okay. I was about 50. No, let me get the date right. 2010 it would have been. In 2010, I tried to have piano lessons, and I did it for about 4 lessons. I've still got the books and stuff. I had 4 75-minute lessons, and I really enjoyed it. But it was finding the time to practice. And the problem I had at that time was I had so much going on. I was in a covers band that was doing 4 or 5 gigs a week, sometimes 6. I was a gig fixer for a chain of venues here in London, and I had 24 bands that I was booking into 11 venues. So that took up a lot of my time. And I had magazine writing and dog walks and our dog had a cruciate ligament operation, and it took 6 months of rehab, and the piano lessons just had to go out the window. I just wasn't finding the time to practice between the lessons, and it was a real shame. But having said that, it wasn't like I was going to become a professional keyboard player or piano player. It was just something that I really wanted to do. So maybe in later life, I'll pick those books back up out of the off my shelf, and I'll have another go. But yeah, life just got way too busy. And I thought at the time, no, it's all right. You'll manage to put in some practice. And originally I was going to try and practice for like 2 hours, 3 times a week. Didn't happen. Can't even find 6 hours to practice bass every week. There's just, and certainly not back then. Because back then, a lot of my practice, I was depping for lots of bands. My band was exceptionally busy. And the only time really you picked up a bass was to learn stuff for the next gig and depping for another band and another bass player. And it was just frantic. So, and actually I can look back at those times and just think, I don't know how I managed to cram everything in. Everything got done that needed to be done, but it was just so busy, so busy. So where I thought I was going to have time to learn how to play piano, I couldn't tell you. I haven't got a clue. Right. Sounds like you've picked up the bass quite well, though. I'd hope so. After this long, after 37 years. But yeah, I guess having done nearly 4,500 gigs, you know, I know a thing or two. I can get by. George, bass playing is a therapy for the soul. Tell that to my other half. She wouldn't agree. But look, you know, I've made a very nice living for 29 years doing this since I graduated from university. So, you know, I always sound quite boring when I'm doing this. It's called frimmicking, noodling in other terms. And I just hate doing this without a drummer or a drum machine. I hate just fanning about. But it's a good way for you to hear how an instrument sounds, you know, the nuances. Once you start putting it into a band mix with drums, that's when you can really assess what a bass sounds like. How it sounds on its own is irrelevant, really. And Lord knows, when I bought my Status Empathy, I thought in the shop it sounded amazing. and I played it at home the same day in silence. Thought this is going to be amazing tonight. Got it on a gig and thought this is awful. Absolutely awful. Why have I bought this bass? And I tried to get on with it for probably about 8 to 10 months. And in the end, I just thought I prefer my other basses. So the Empathy did nothing for about 4 years. And then someone offered me a reasonable amount of money for it. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to let it go yet. I'm going to give it another month. And if I can't get this thing to work how I want it to work, then I'll sell it to you. And I did a complete setup, top to bottom, restrung it with a different brand of strings, different gauge, set it up, and it suddenly came to life out of nowhere on this the gig. I took it out. I thought, right, you have got 30 days, and if this bass is not happening after 30 days, it's going. And it just came to life, like I say, and it became my main bass for, well, certainly up until we went into lockdown, so 2007 to 2020. And then I used it obviously for all the bass string experiment videos that you will have seen on the channel. And at the moment it's having a bit of a rest. It was due a rest after those 73 gigs, as well as all the other gigs it was on. Yeah, so yeah, I think I know a few things about bass, Jason. Lefty Bassist George, is your 28-inch scale the Ibanez Micro? Your sound has gone funny. Oh no, here we go. Okay. It's a live chat with Gremlins. Yes, says Steffi. Excellent, thank you. Hopefully we won't have any more issues. I know last week we had an issue, and once we sorted it, it didn't come back. So hopefully that's it all up and running and fine. I can see a couple of messages there. Just bear me a moment. Got to run. Thank you. Next week. Yes, no problem, Dawson. We'll see you next week. Okay. Keith Doherty. Yes, all good again. Excellent. Fabulous. That's all it takes, is taking the audio interface out and plugging it back in. We don't need that. That's all good. Okay. So Dawson is going to join us next week, so that's cool. So it's coming up to 10 to 9 here in London, here in the UK. Very welcome live chat number 73 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner. I realised tonight I keep looking down. I've got the camera here, right? And I've got the laptop here, and I'm looking down because that's where everything's happening. So I've got to find a way in the next week, maybe to start doing these live chats standing up, which will be facilitated by the standing desk platform that should arrive tomorrow, which would mean that we can then do it on the desktop machine from next week. And it will also mean the camera is at the same level as the screen. So I'm looking at you as messages come in, as opposed to now where the camera's there and the laptop's there. George, loud and clear and chilly. Excellent. Kevin, hi Mike, have you ever used nylon-wound strings? Yes, I have. Rotor Sound, True Bass are the ones I've used, and great on acoustic basses and electroacoustics. Good on electric basses that you aren't really looking for any sort of, obviously you're not going to get bright tone out of it, but also when you use those strings, the E string is exceptionally large, and you may need to recut the nut in order to accommodate it. You might not, depends on the bass, but I think the true, actually I can do it on my laptop, can't I? Just 2 seconds, I'll tell you. I think I have a suspicion the E string is something like I think it's like 100 and, well, rather than talking out of my backside, let me Google it for you. It's been a while since I had them on a bass. I used them in like the mid 2000s for a band that it had an electric set but also had an acoustic set. Here we go. So yeah, the E string is a 115. The A string is 100, The D string is a 75 and the G string is a 65. So yeah, for a lot of basses, you might either need to recut the nut if you're going to go down that route and always use those strings, or if you've got a specific bass that you're going to string them up with it, take the old nut off, keep hold of that, put that in a safe place, and get a new nut cut, glue it in, away you go. But yeah, nylon strings are great. It's a very specific tone you're going to get. They're not going to be they're not really multifunctional, if you understand what I mean. So yeah, but certainly have a go with some if you want to. Just look at the nut situation on the bass that you're going to put them on. Starting with Ernie Ball Cobalt flat wounds. Okay, enjoy those. 4505 on your short scale basses, George. You may find you need to buy specifically short scale strings, and I'm sure Ernie Ball will have some of those in their repertoire. But the problem with short scale basses, if you use long scale strings, is you end up having to cut an excessive amount off, and what happens is the windings start coming loose, which you don't want, obviously. So I would strongly recommend, if you're going to go down the Ernie Ball string route, to get their short scale strings. Okay, that would be my suggestion. 4505s, yes. What will happen is, because they're heavier strings, on a shorter scale bass, they feel baggier, so they don't necessarily feel as large as they are as they would on a 34-inch scale. So, for example, when I play a Kubicki Factor, which is 32-inch scale, medium scale, you don't have to, but it's advised by the man that made them that you really wanted to use a 4505 gauge, and they would feel like 4000s on a regular long scale bass. And he was right, because I used to put 4000s on my Factors, and as lovely as it was, I always felt like it needed a bit more oomph. And when I went up to 4505, suddenly the bass came alive. So, yeah. David Gill, lefty bassist. The Dario has great short scale flat wounds, 4500s. Thank you for that. Aaron Byrne, Labella have a range of flat wounds with some specific for shorter scale basses available. There is definitely a short scale basses have become very popular in the last 6 or 7 years. Probably going back to like 2017, 2016, so when we first started to see this upturn in short scale basses becoming a fashion, not a fashionable thing, but a more usable kind of bass. The string offerings have suddenly blossomed as well. It's good to see. Good to see all the string companies are sort of jumping on that fact, rather than having lots of angry customers cutting down long or medium scale strings and then wondering why the strings are unraveling. Not that that always happens, but it can happen, and it can be a real pain, especially if you're on a gig. So before this comes out with me on a couple of Uncle Funk shows, going to need to do a bit of rehearsal with it here. So I'll be running the set. Actually, we don't have an Uncle Funk gig now for about 2-3 weeks, so I've got time to run some gig recordings and play along and make sure this is all fine. It should be fine. I can't imagine it won't be. The only disappointing fact is it doesn't have LEDs, of course, but and unfortunately, like a lot of the earlier Alembics, so I don't know what point this changed, it's got brass position markers. I'll try and show you. And they're a bit grimy. So my mate who had this bass that I bought it from did a lovely clean, but he didn't clean the side position markers. So a drop of Neverdull is going to sort this out. But I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I don't know if I can get that close, but basically The dots, so you'll see them there, are very dark. So they're brass markers and they've tarnished over time. Yeah, see, as you go up the neck, it's hard to see them. But I'll sort it out. I'll sort it out. Yeah. Yeah, I think intonation might just be out a tad as well. So we'll get it on the workbench and get it all in fine fettle. It's got the characteristic Alembic woody tone, as you would expect it to have. I actually love the simplicity of it without, you know, it's not like the mothership with 20 controls all over the place. Volume, filter. Easy. Easy. There's not much to go wrong there. I just have the both pickups on full, unless I want bridge honk. And then it's just a case of finding where to stick the filter on any given gig. Yeah, G string's a little high for my liking. See if you can see that. It's a little high. Just a bit. Just a tweak. Aaron Byrne, what's everybody's go-to string gauge? Most of my basses are. And then afterwards he says 4505. Lefty bassist, enjoyed your workbench videos. Thank you, David. Maybe you could film when you adjust that bass. I will be. There's actually a few. There's going to be about 4 or 5 basses that need restringing. A couple that need some work doing. 2 of them need to have new foam put in the pickup cavities because the foam that's in there is not doing the job it should be. So I've got some fairly stiff, rigid foam I need to cut and get those pickups the way they should be. Aaron Burns, so preferred string gauges. Well, for years my preferred gauge was 40/100s, and it still is on certain bases. But what I find is that things like Fenders, Stingrays, anything with a kind of traditional 4 in a row or 3 in a 1, tend to like 45/105s or a 45 to 100. Are we back? For some reason, StreamYard's got some serious issues tonight. Where I live, there are flat wound strings for 30 inches, only ball, but not for 28. Understood. You might need to go down the custom string route. Something going on with StreamYard and sound and microphones tonight. I don't know what. I'm really sorry. So it turned the mic off of its own free will. Stacey, no sound. No sound for the past few minutes. I was going through all the strings on my different basses. So do I need to go through that all again? I can do it in a truncated way. Let me just disconnect the bass in case I need to go and get my drink, which is just over there. Seems the sound gets lost every time you play bass. Okay. Well, then I need to do some gremlin checking over the next couple of days then, because I'm not sure what's causing that. The interface can take both. So let me just check that everything is right in the settings. It should be. Microphone. Tell you why. It's switched to doing the microphone on the camera. So now you should have the sound coming through the microphone. So hopefully the sound is better. Is that better? I think what happened when I disconnected the audio interface, when it comes back in, it automatically defaults to the microphone on the camera, not my lovely Shure mic that I've got here. It's great, isn't it? Modern technology. Every week there's something. I will iron all of this out. I might do a dummy dry run next week or at the weekend before we get to Tuesday. Iron these issues out. It happens regularly. So yeah, right. Do I need to now you can hear me? I was going through my bass collection and listing what I use on each bass. Do I need to do that again? I can do it a lot quicker this time because I've already said it once. More than happy to do so if people would find it interesting. Sounds okay. Scene, okay. I think that's working properly now. Sounds okay, says George. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just trying to open up a regular YouTube studio window with this live chat in case StreamYard is going to keep giving me grief. And I can see what's going on. That's better. Right, we're up to date. Good. I think that's it. Good. Right. Right, I'll say it again. So Aaron was talking about string gauges, and I went through all the basses here in my collection, basically telling you guys what brand and what gauge I was using, not knowing the microphone was turned off. So I was chattering away. But if you'd find it useful, I'm more than happy to go through them all again. And if that gives you some ideas or you want to converse about it, more than happy to do so. I'm just going to grab my drink. Just bear with me a moment. The old throat gets a little parched, you know. There we are. Having to wear a white, looser fitting t-shirt tonight because it's so hot here in London. It's about 32, 33 degrees. Thankfully, it's getting cooler now. We've still got 50% humidity. So I know, Stacey, it's nothing compared to the humidity you guys get. Stacey regularly gets about 90% humidity in North Carolina, so which isn't ideal. That's better. So, who's been buying things? Who's got new purchases to report? Thank you, Stace, for saying the sound is better. Good. Good, good, good. Stace, same here in Steffi, same here in Germany, been in a swimming bath half of the day. You lucky soul. Quite cold down in Chile. Well, this is it. You see, our summer is your winter. So wrap up warm. Stay safe. Don't go venturing on ice. So let's do that. And let's do that. So here we are, Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 73 with Gremlins. It's just gone 9:10 here in London. You're very welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you to the regulars who've sort of got involved. It's a slightly quieter night tonight. I think a lot of people are outdoors here in the UK, so chances are we'll probably get some of the other regulars appearing a little later on. And I'm always very aware that when I do this at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday in America, it's basically 3 o'clock and 1 o'clock. 3 o'clock and midday, sorry. So people are at work. So unfortunately, because of the way the time zones are, I can't do it so it works for everyone. But obviously, you can always watch this on catch up. So all the live chats, all of the past ones, the impromptu live chats when I've been out on gigs, they're all here on the channel, all there to be watched and laughed at, if that's your thing. David Gill, still considering an octave pedal. Very good. But many of the YouTube videos show slap players. Yeah, octave pedals and slapping don't necessarily go together. Not sure if it will work for me. It will. It will. I would show you an octave pedal, but they're all my pedals around the corner there in plastic tubs, and I've only got one instrument cable to hand. But I will do, if this would be handy for you, David, I will make sure next week's live chat I'll have an assortment of octave pedals here, and I'll set them up and go through them all if that would be handy for you. But no, an octave pedal is basically, you're only going to get the best out of them playing fingerstyle, really. And the reason for that is they're very temperamental with the tone, playing style, frequency, and string attack. And basically, whenever you hear anyone talk about an octave pedal, you hear them mention tracking. So it's the tracking of the notes, and your string choice and where you play a certain note on the bass makes a huge difference in how that pedal reacts and produces the octave effect. So generally, you're not going to use an octaver too low down. I mean, I think the best tracking I've ever found on one went as far as a low A. So that was the A on the E string and the open A string. But even then, sometimes you can play that note and you'll hear the thing track to begin with and then drop off. And it's to do with the vibration of the string, how the pickups are working. The type of pickup can make a big difference, whether it's a single coil, a humbucker, or a split coil. Active basses versus passive basses, that can have a big effect on it. And how you play the strings, clean playing is what's required. If you very much a bum 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 bum, you're not going to get the best out of an octave pedal doing that. It needs clarity and a degree of precision in how you play your notes, and it takes some experimentation. And I can say I've returned some octave pedals because I just felt like the tracking was not working, and I didn't know if it was that particular specific pedal or whether it was the model of the pedal or whether it was the brand. And some basses just don't work well with certain octave pedals, but some work really great. So it's a bit tricky. And if you go on any bass forums, you'll find lots of people saying such and such an octave pedal is amazing, it's great, and then you'll go and try it and go, it's not doing what I need it to do. But experimentation is the best policy. And who were we talking to last week about octave pedals? Was it Joe Goose? Might have been Joe Goose. And actually it was Joe Goose, I think. And I was saying basically back in 2019, just before we went into lockdown in 2020, a friend of mine, again, I'll mention him, Gary Banton. He'd mentioned to me before about, what's the best octave pedal? What do you find is the best one for you? And I said, well, I've got quite a few. He said, yeah, so have I. He said, but I just can't find the best one. And so I went round there with Betsy because he hadn't tried one of those. And eventually he did buy one. And we lined up all of his octave pedals, pulled out 3 or 4 basses, and we played them all for about an hour. And the best sounding one, both of us agreed, the best sounding one to our ears was the Vintage Bass Octave by MXR. It was this thin, small version, not the larger pedal, the regular standard size pedal. It was the smaller one with the little green button for the mid boost. And we both went, that's the best out of the lot. So we had OC2 and OC3. OC5 hadn't come out at that point. He had an old Pearl Octaver, which was exceptional. We had an EBS Octabass Black Label, and I'd taken the grey Octabass, the grey label one. We had an Aguilar Optimizer, another couple of MXRs. I think there was an Electro Harmonics variant. We had all sorts, but again, the MXR, the small vintage bass octave, was the one that won. There you go. And I think that's the one Gary now uses all the time out of preference. But there's so many octavers and octave effects, and like I say, well, last week or the week before, I was mentioning that I have, obviously I mention it all the time, that I have the Digitech drop on my pedal board all the time. So that goes down 7 semitones, and then the last setting is an octave setting without the dry signal, and then the next option is octave with the dry signal, which is basically an octaver effect. The only problem on that is there are no controls. You can't change any of the parameters of the octave effect. But the way that pedal sounds and my EBS Octabass Black Label sounds, two totally different octave sounds. So, you know, you can have 10 octave pedals. They're all going to sound a bit different from each other. It's just a case of trying, experimenting, working out which basses you're going to be using it with. If you're going to go to a shop, you want to line up as many of them as you possibly can, plug your bass in, then try them. Or you have to take my route, which is you have to go out and buy them, try them, and then either sell them on, or you know, if the shop allows you to return it, great. Not a lot of shops will, but some do. Let's have a look. George Gandara, you're a plucker, are you now? Right, so you're a slap and pluck guy. Yeah, an octave pedal isn't really going to work for you. In theory, an octave pedal with slap should be great, and some pedals can do it. Some effects units, it's okay, but a lot of the octave pedals, it just doesn't work because it's too much of a dynamic boost if you're plucking strings, and the octaver gets very confused. There's so many resonances and transients in that signal, it doesn't know what to do. Which thing am I tracking? And they get a bit lost. Keith Doherty, I've bought quite a few bits of gear this year. Good. A Warwick 1x12 300 watt 4 ohm cab, nice. Harley Benton GPA 100 power amp, very good. Laney Digbeth preamp, nice. I did a review of that, but it didn't get published. Magazine closed down before that got to publication. Digitech drop, of course. Wise man, excellent. Pleased to hear it. And a Joyo Skiller compression, and a double thruster. I apologize, we've got any kids watching, obviously. It's an overdrive, Sonic Cake, Sonic Ambience, reverb and delay for my acoustic. Cool. Steve BBB, I don't think you've been here on a live chat before. Very welcome. Come on in. Have you seen the Sea Moon Octatron? No. Can you send me a link? Oh, I don't think you can do links, can you? Or can you? I will check it out. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll do it while you're on here. Let's have a look. The Sea Moon Octatron. Can't say I've ever heard of it, but it's not even coming up in Google. So I'm not sure. I'm getting watches at Argos. Let's see if I put in pedal. It's obviously an acquired taste. There we go. It's saying a C. Hang on, I'm going to go into. Oh, I see. It's chucked me into Yahoo. I don't want to be in Yahoo, thanks. Why is that picked up? I don't want Yahoo as my. No, that's not happening. As my search, thanks. Some reason Yahoo seems to think it's become my default search engine. That's not going to be the case. So let's get that away. No. I'm purely a Google kind of guy. There we go. Right. Cute. Right. Sea Moon Octatron. Let's have a look. There we go. It's more like it, isn't it? Let's see. I can see a Sea Moon Funk Machine. I'm not seeing an Octatron. Ah, there we go. Grind Machine and... Okay, so it's this thing. It's the Grind Machine and Octatron demo. Crikey. Okay, I'll check it out later. Thank you for the heads up. Check Bass World. Okay, I will do. Bass the World review, right? Okay, yep, I will do. They've got a team. They can cover stuff so much quicker than I can. Right, thank you, Steve. I will check that out. Steve BBB, where are you on the planet? Have we communicated before? I don't recognize the name on the live chat anyway. Kent. Ah, excellent. Not far from me then. I'm in West London. I'll be down in Kent actually at the end of the month with Uncle Funk. I think we're doing is it a festival show or a private show? One or the other. So have you got one of these Sea Moon Octatrons, Steve? What are they like? What can you tell us? Impart your knowledge. Let's see if we've got anyone that's going to join in on video. No one at the moment. That's okay. Expensive. That's probably why it hasn't. It's not a bit more well known. The expensive ones tend to always be a bit. What's the word? Obscure. So you don't see them. You lived in Tunbridge Wells in the early 80s, George. Excellent. It hasn't changed. I don't think. I used to do quite a few gigs down that way. Used to do a lot of weddings down that way. That's a lot of gear you bought, Keith. As long as it's all getting used, excellent. Excellent stuff. Yeah, I used to go down that way. There was like a whole lot. Well, now there's even more, but sort of in the 2000s and 2010s, there were lots of rural, like barns and farmhouses becoming wedding venues. So tithe barns and all that sort of thing. And there were whole periods, like months, I could be going down the M20, M2 corridors into Kent and doing weddings like 2 or 3 times a week, every week. I spent a lot of time sort of driving up and down that way. But nowadays, main reason I'm going down that way is to go to see Rotosound at Sevenoaks, which isn't so far away. Tell me, Keith, how are you getting on with the Sonic Cake pedal? Because I've looked at a few of those and I was going to do some reviews and demos and buy a couple of those because they're not particularly expensive. And I'm just interested to know what the quality of the effects are like in terms of the sound, not the physical build. You've only received that yesterday. Okay, no worries. Okay, you can give us a report next week if that's okay. Let me know. David Gill, gotta go. Catch the rest of. Sorry, what is that? Stuff appearing on my screen. You'll catch the rest of the video on replay. Happy playing all. Thank you very much. Have a good day. We'll catch you next week, hopefully. Hope you have a good week. Enjoy your bass playing, my friend. The Sea Moon Octatron. Right. I'll be checking that out later. Okay. So here we are, Brooksy's Bass Corner, Tuesday evening, all the way from London town, the UK. Live chat 73. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good summer. For those of us in Northern Hemisphere, obviously George in Chile in the Southern Hemisphere is in the middle of winter. So you can't have it all. But we're having finally summer has appeared here in the UK. It's we've got 32 degrees we've had today. Same again tomorrow, I think. Potential for some thunderstorms. And here comes a really big moth. It's going to fly right in front of the camera. You're right down there. Oh, you can have a rest. Very good. I wouldn't go too far under that plastic tub. You might not come back out, mate. So you're very welcome. Come on in to the best bass live chat here on YouTube. So I've been told. If you want to join us, you can join in via video. If you wish to do so, you can do that by sending me an email to brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. You see it running on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Once I get that email, I can send you an invite, pull you up on the screen, and we can converse via video. If you don't want to do that, we can stick with the tried and trusted text chat that we've been doing for, goodness, now 3.5 years. So the old way still works. That's good. George Iliadis, all the way from Australia. Good to see you. Good morning. Hope you're well. It's Wednesday where you are. It's Tuesday here. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Keith Doherty, haven't had time to try it. However, a few friends bought the acoustic preamp with that built in and say the reverb is very good. Excellent. Good. Give us an update next week, Keith. Let us know what it's like with bass, if you can. That'd be cool. In fact, you could come on video if you wish, and you can give us a demo. That's all good. So this week, he says, with good intentions. So last week, I was meant to get some demos, meant to get videos up on Wednesday, Friday, and possibly one at the weekend. Didn't happen. Just life got so busy last week with had to run the sets for the two bands and the gigs, and had to pick that bass up on the Friday, and just so much going on. This week, I've got a gig on Saturday with a band I've never even played with. So tomorrow, I'm running their set top to bottom, and then I'll do refresher run throughs on Thursday and Friday, and probably Saturday morning. So once I've put the meat and potatoes of that work to bed tomorrow, I can get around to editing up the videos that I've got coming up next. So I think there's like 3 or 4 pedal demos, the straight out of the box series. There's a couple of interviews which are sitting there just waiting for me to put them up. And if I don't have the 3 or 4 hours that I need around a video launch to do all the promotion and the social media and what have you, it doesn't work. The video just, I launch it and it just goes. So you have to have that 3 or 4 hour window of time where nothing's going to interrupt you but doing your video. Just didn't have it last week. Hopefully could have it this week. So all the videos that were planned for upload last week will hopefully surface this week. So keep watching the channel. If you're enjoying the video, enjoying the channel, enjoying the videos on the channel, please, well, the live chat that we're on at the moment, if you give it a thumbs up, that'd be fabulous. By all means, comment, leave comments on any of the videos, and I'll come back to you as quickly as I can. By all means, share the videos out to social media, email, whatever you wish. Super chat facility is obviously at the bottom of the live chat window. Super thanks facility is on every video if you go down into the icons. And yeah, there we go. Here we go. I'm not doing the whole subscribe thing. I've explained this the past 2 weeks. So I'm not, what's the word, garnering extra subscribers, because I'm finding the subscriber metric is a vanity metric for people who want sponsorship deals and what have you, which is something I may well work towards further down the line. But I've seen in my analytics that my subscribers aren't necessarily getting notifications from YouTube, even though they've got the notification the notification bell is turned on and they've selected all notifications. They're not being notified by YouTube when I produce new videos, community posts, all of that. In which case you have to ask, what's the point of the subscriber metric? So if you wish to subscribe, fabulous. Thank you. But I'm not going to ask you to do it. It's up to you guys if you want to do that. Kevin, I was going through my CD collection, came across New Gold Dreams by Simple Minds. Derek Forbes is the bass player. Great playing. Have you heard of him? I certainly have. He was one of the best bass players in the early 80s. And then John Giblin replaced him, which would have been Once Upon a Time album. But Derek Forbes was immense. And actually, my old editor at Bass Guitar Magazine and bass player, Joel McIver, he interviewed Derek Forbes, I think last year. And he said he was a little bit crackers. But he wasn't sure if that was just the life of a rock star or life had taken its toll or his brain was fried from too much bass playing. But yeah, a very fine bass player, great player, great bass tones, imaginative bass lines, really good. Keith, do you use reverb with your bass? No, no delays, no reverbs, never have, never needed to. I think it depends on the material and the genre you're playing. If you're doing prog or like Pink Floyd-y kind of psychedelic rock, then reverbs are great. But for a lot of stuff, mainstream stuff, which is generally what I've done over the years, I haven't really got a need for reverb. And I don't do a lot of soloing, as you can probably tell, across any of the videos here on the channel for the last 4 years. And actually, let me get the date right. I think today, it is today. I think today is exactly 4 years to the day that I posted up my first video on YouTube. How about that? So the birthday of the creation of the channel was last week. That was 4 years. You may have seen the posts on social media, but I think today, the 30th. In fact, I can tell you. Hold on. Let me just check my phone. I can tell you. Going to my diary. I think it is. He says, swiping like a demon. Right, 2020, July. No. Oh, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, 31st of July, 2020 was the first, my first post up here on the YouTube channel. There we go, 4 years. Where did that go? But no, I don't tend to use reverb. Have no need for it. Although I've got reverbs and delays all built into this, which you can't see. I need to find a way to be able to move the cameras about. So here to my right, can I move it? I might be able to move it. Hold on. Let's see if I can move it. Let's see. Here we go. So there. Oh, it's just out, isn't it? Typical. I'm going to raise you. Hold on. Give me a moment, guys. Right there. Right there is what is called a PV bass Vex, which back in the early 90s was a fabulous bit of kit. It's still a fabulous bit of kit, but it relies on a battery to store your presets. And if you don't have the RAM cartridges, you can't save anything. You can't dump anything out. I think it's got MIDI on the back, but again, I'm still not convinced you can do that. And annoyingly, I had to have the battery replaced at the bass center back in, must have been about 2003, 2004, because I realized it wasn't saving any of my presets. And Chris, the tech there, had a big pile of the RAM cartridges, and no one ever wanted them, so he put them in the bin. Sorry, I need to adjust the camera here. He put them in the bin, throw them away. I said, I could have done with them. But there we are. I missed the boat. But anyway. Right, do I use reverb with the bass? No, we discussed that. I mainly bought it for my acoustic guitar. I hadn't thought about it for bass. Well, like I say, if you do kind of Pink Floyd-y stuff or prog stuff or let's think a more pop use of reverb would be Wild Boys by Duran Duran. That had reverb. Well, actually, it's probably more of a delay, but depends on the millisecond interval that you select. But yeah. Okay, Steffi, yes, same here, no notifications at all. Oh, I see. Right, you've asked me two things there. Do I use delay? No, I don't. And I have to say, when I was about 16 or 17, I saw some guitar players with delay pedals, and I was transfixed. And I thought, great, I've got to get that for bass. And when the Boss BE5B came out, which I've got, there's going to be a demo video of that very shortly. That's got delays and stuff in it. And I used to tinker around with it, but I could never find an application for it as a bass player. Just didn't really lend itself to the music I was playing and the bands I was playing in. But I've got those things. If someone said, well, we've got to put some delay on this and we're going to do this, that, and the other, I've got the stuff to do it, you know. I feel like I'm moving too far back here. There we go. Too far away from the microphone. Right, I'll quickly check with you. Visuals all right? Microphone working okay? So I've been dealing with a bit of hay fever past week. Very bunged up and clogged in the nose and throat department, but fighting. I've been going for nearly an hour and 40 minutes. Just bear with me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I just need to shut my office door. Otherwise, there's going to be loads of chat from elsewhere in the house on my live chat, which isn't really what we want. I think we're all good. I see 7 people are on at the moment. All 7 of you. Hope you're all grand. Hope your bass playing's all going fine. Let's see if anyone has sent me an email to join in on the live chat. No. Okay. So if you got any questions about the new bass, feel free, fire away. You want to know anything about it? I'll try to answer to the best of my abilities. It's got a few dings here and there, a couple of scratches, but it is 34 years old, and it's in pretty good nick. Pretty good. My mate did a good cleaning up job, pretty much, but I just can't get over the height of that G string that's going to be coming down. But I'll get it on the workbench, change the strings, and then we'll see whether we're going to lower the bridge, lower the nut, adjust pickup height. I'll check it all out. I'm that sort of bloke. You can't see it. Puck 27, good to see you. Sorry, it's because of the height of the camera and I'm sitting down, not standing up. I said earlier, we'll start doing some live chats where I'm standing up and you'll be able to, we'll have a broader pan of the camera so you'll see more. Here we go. We'll go like that. No more. I need to go like that. Yeah. So it's an Alembic Persuader custom model with humbuckers instead of a split coil and a single coil. Yeah. You got it. Getting in there. There we go. Nice. I'm kind of tightly sort of stuck here in my where I do the live chat. So there you go. It's a mighty fine piece, I have to say. Plays great, sounds great. Yeah, you can't see it. It's great, isn't it? Sorry. But yeah, very pleased with it. A nice flame Koa top, mahogany core, 3-piece maple through neck, ebony board, mother of pearl inlays. Nice simple control set, 2 volumes and a filter. That's all we got. It's 2 volumes, filter. Simple. Very much like a spoiler, but different electronics. This is lower down in the ranges apparently, but I'm fine with that. This plays great, so very happy and very different obviously to the other 2 Alembics I've got, so quite a different tone. Helps if you're playing the right key. Yeah, G string's miles off. I don't know if you can see that. It's so far off the fingerboard. I could put a little blanket under there and have a sleep. It's but as I explained earlier, Alembic bridges are a thing of their own. So basically you don't have individual saddle adjustments for each string. You actually have to raise and lower the whole unit. And then the actual grooves in the saddle follow the camber and radius of the neck. So that's kind of how that works, but I'm tempted to put a slightly lighter gauge on here. I may do. It's 40/100s I think at the moment. It might be 45s. Might be 45s actually. We think they're rotos. My mate said they were the same strings that he got when he got the bass. So does it have a 5-pin DLR? No. All it's got, 2 volumes, filter, normal 1/4-inch jack. It's got a trim pop in the internal cavity. As I say, these are the lower ranges, so you don't start getting the 5-pin DLRs till you get into the Series 1 and Series 2s. And they had those because of the quality of the electronics. George Iliadis, why have they skyrocketed in price? Well, I have my own thoughts on this, George. I think so. When we went into lockdown, Alembic prices were fairly stable, and I think, because I was watching how the prices rocketed, they just went up and up and up and up and up. I think what happened was, and the whole world was affected by COVID, I think a lot of people were kind of thinking, well, this might be our time's up, you know, might not have too much longer on the planet. And I think people took to buying things that they wanted or things that they'd always wanted to have. And musical instruments sold out. I know over here I was working on a piece for Bass Guitar magazine. It was the last sort of knock-ins before we got amalgamated into Bass Player. I was working on a big feature for Yamaha, and I was talking to their UK sort of boss man, and he was saying that they'd literally run out of Yamaha musical instruments in lots of the music stores and online retailers in the UK. Couldn't keep up with demand because people suddenly realized they're going to have a lot of time on their hands. They wanted to take up a musical instrument. So guitars sold out, keyboards sold out, basses sold out, drums sold out. And I think what happened is once things like furlough payments came in here in the UK, I don't know what there were in other parts of the world, but, you know, people's money to live on. I think a lot of people went and used some of that money to buy the things they wanted. And bass players, may well have been thinking, well, I've always wanted an Alembic, so I'm going to go and buy one. And I remember about 5 or 6 months in, so sort of towards the later stages of 2020, I was seeing Series 1 Alembics and any Alembics suddenly starting to edge up in price. So as we went into lockdown, for example, I'll use my two other basses, my other two Alembics as examples, right? So 20th anniversary 10 years ago would have cost you about $3,000. Mark King Alembic Signature Standard was about 3.5. As we're going through lockdown, I'm seeing those prices sort of edge up, and the online retailers are getting secondhand models. People are cashing gear in because they've got, some of us didn't get furlough and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of equipment being sold on secondhand. And again, these things are edging up. And about 2 to 3 years ago, so 2021, 2022, I saw examples of those two basses starting to hit £6,500. Well, they were only $3 in 2014, 2015, and here we were in 2021, 22, and they're up to 6.5. And it's even worse, I think, in places like Japan. And you look at America, you know, the prices of Alembics have just gone up. And I don't know if the company has done price rises. I guess they have. But I was looking the other day at what the current price, like starting prices are. You know, Series 2 is like, let me call it. I don't want to say it on a live chat and I'm wrong. So, and then I get shot down in flames. Let me just call up the Alembic price generator. Now, if you buy an Alembic brand new, you are going to be entitled to certain discounts if you do it through one of their distributors or shops that they use. So what you see is the original price on the configurator, you will get money off of that. And they do special features, and every month there's like a special offer on certain features on their bases. Right, let me go to the price thing. Just bear with me a moment. Right, that's all your custom options. So let's have a look. Price list. Here we go. Right. So let's go for the bells and whistles, shall we? So if you wanted a top of the range Series 2, just based off the standard price list, so we haven't gone in and changed any features or anything, a Series 2 4-string Alembic is going to cost you, as of May the 5th, 2024, $41,300. A Series 1 will cost you $35,500. A Mark King Signature Standard, which is what I've got here, but mine's got LEDs, and I don't know if the guy spec'd any other fancy stuff. Brand new, $18,300. You can't buy a 20th anniversary model. That was a run of 200. That's all they were. So while we're talking Alembic, obviously Jason Newsted, formerly of Metallica, has just sold a load of his gear off. So he had a 20th anniversary, and it was used on some recordings. He may have used it live. I don't know. I'm not a huge Jason Newsted fan. But he just sold one of those basses. So I bought mine for about £3,000 in 2014. They've been selling for around £6,500. He just sold his one for $16,000. He sold his 10-string, which I think was a Series 2, or was it a Europa? Again, I could look it up, but I can't be bothered. Went for $28,000 plus. So, you know, Nathan East's Series 1 went to auction 10 years ago, and that sold here in the UK for about 24 grand. So, you know, the prices are high. And occasionally you might find a deal. I mean, I know what I've paid for this is probably a little over the top, but I just know Alembics are going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. So, or I think they will. I hope they will. But that's all I can put it down to, George. I don't know what the sudden spike in their prices and why people were suddenly wanting them all of a sudden when they hadn't really been flavor of the month for quite a while. Suddenly you were getting people going, well, you know, where can I buy a Series 1? Where can I buy a Series 2? Series 2s don't come up very often. And if they do, you're not going to be getting one on the cheap, really. And certainly here in the UK, you wouldn't get a Series 2 secondhand for anything less than £10,000, maybe 15, unless someone was selling it and money was no object, in which case I'll be in that queue. But yeah, the Mark King signatures now, they're £6.5 for a standard. And they're selling. That's the thing. You know, Bass Brothers have had a few. Bass Direct have had a few, and they all sell. They all sell. So it's not like their prices and then they don't sell. They do sell. So Puck 27. What's your name, Puck 27? Where are you? Where are you on the planet? I don't think you've been here on the channel before, so I'd just like to know who we're talking to. Wow, you have a 20th anniversary as well. Good on you. So do I. There's a demo here on the channel. Oh, well, you don't need a demo. You've got one yourself. If anyone wants to check it out, there are two demos of my Alembics here on the on Brooksy's Bass Corner. There'll be a demo of this very shortly and a review. And I need to do reviews of the two Alembics, and I'll probably do a comparison video as well. Alf from the Cotswolds. Alf, welcome. Good to see you. Welcome. Cotswolds. I do many a gig round there. Although I haven't driven through there as much this summer as I normally do. George Iliadis, yes, definitely on the list. There is a fellow in Broadbeach busking with an Alembic. Time to change career. Yeah. Which Alembic has he got? I'll plug this back in if you want to hear it. Although people were saying it might muck up the sound. So you guys tell me if you can hear this or not. I don't know if you can. You have a brown bass too. You wish you did. You wish you did have a brown bass. Is that what you mean? You wish you played gigs in the Cotswolds. Yeah, we do a lot of weddings and festivals this time of year. Although not so many this year. Driving all over the place, all over the country this year. It's a very long West Wales drives from West London. Nice, you've got brown bass. Excellent. Excellent. How long have you had that? George Iliadis, Stanley Clark's signature, had a chat with him, American fellow, cool guy. Yeah, I had a chat with Stanley for the Yamaha feature we were just talking about that we did just at the start of lockdown. I had to talk to him because he was an Ampeg artist, and it was around the time that Yamaha just taken over Ampeg. So he was part of the feature. Very nice. Lovely chat. You've had it for 25 years. Excellent. Is it behaving itself? Neck hasn't gone a bit doolally. Excellent. Do you set it up yourself, or do you take it to a guitar tech or a retailer to get it done, or do you do it all yourself? You also have a fretless Mark King. Are we talking? Oh, Alembic, but it's a bit noisy. I set up myself. Excellent. Well, when I get my my other two into the workshop, there'll be some workshop videos on those, and this one actually. The more I'm playing it, that G string's really annoying me now. Thomas, good to see you. Welcome. I have a question. When I have 5-string bass and the guitarist is in tune E flat, should I detune the bass or play in E standard? You've got three options, my friend. You can tune your whole bass down a semitone. So basically, you're going to still be playing everything in E, but you'll be in the tuning that matches your guitarist. Or you can play in E standard, but you won't have the low E flat. Oh, you have a 5-string bass though. Okay. Yes, you will, of course. So if you want to do that, that's up to you, but it can play with your head in the middle of a gig. Or the other option is to buy something like this, which is the Digitech drop pedal, which I talk about a lot. There's a video here on the channel. If you want to check it out, I've had one of these on my pedal board since 2019. It's on every gig. I wish I'd had this back in 1995 when I turned professional, because the amount of gigs I've done where I've had to do tunings on the fly and transposing on the fly, and singers picking weird keys for songs and having to play them there and then, or detuning guitars to play in semitone or tone down tuning and the neck's not liking it, and the one of these would have saved me a whole load of grief. So you've got three options, my friend. You can either tune a semitone down, you can play it in concert and just make use of your low B, or you can buy something like that. But it's entirely up to you. So when I didn't have that and I played in a covers band for 17 years and we tuned to E flat, all my basses were tuned down. I tried to do the keeping it in concert but it just doesn't get you. In the heat of battle, and you got songs flying at you left, right, and center, and the monitors are feeding back, and you can't get your amp to sound right, and the drummer's throwing a hissy fit. It's easier just to be in semitone down tuning. But problem is, if you play in a number of bands and you're going between tunings, sometimes a wooden neck is going to get the hump. Really, graphite neck, it's fine. That's not going to move at all. But certainly during very hot months and very cold months, if you're going from semitone to concert, down a tone, back up to semitone, down, back to concert, the neck, they just don't like that. It's just not for me. But yeah, I personally, I would, well, with a 5-string, if you're going to go down that route and just keep the thing tuned in concert and just learn the songs in a semitone down, then go for that. But it's up to you, my friend. Only you know what your bass can do and what you want to do. For ease of brain and comfort, I would say tune your bass down a semitone. But if you don't want to do that, then buy one of them for about £120 or wherever you're based. They're not that expensive. And if you watch my video, let me put a link up in case you can't find it. Hold on. I only did it a couple of weeks ago. Just give you an idea what it can do, okay? And on bass, it's good for up to about 3 to 4 semitones down. Anything more than that, forget it. It's too warbly. It's too synthetic. The tracking gets worse. The more semitones down you go, you lose all your top end after about 3 semitones. So, you know, if you want to do slap stuff and you want it to drop down sort of 4 semitones or more, you're not going to get any twang from popping strings. You're just not. And it kind of sounds like a bit of a robotic chorus pedal once you start going through the multiple semitones. But for a semitone down and a tone down, it's good. For me, I had one guy comment on that video today, and he said he'd use 7 or 8 basses and he just couldn't get the pedal to work for him. I don't know what he wanted the pedal to achieve, but in a live setting, I've used it for 5 years and I've got no complaints. I know what its limitations are, so, you know. Jeffrey Boyle, good to see you. Welcome. Hope you're well. Hope all is good and life is treating you good, and I hope your bass playing's all going fine. And I need to say, obviously, we've got people here who've not been on the channel before. You can join us. Let me just post this up. You can join us by video if you wish. So if you've got gear problems or you want to ask some advice, you can do it by video. You don't have to just use the chat window, text. You can come online. If you send me an email, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com, I can send you an invite to this chat and you can come online. You can talk directly. So, you know, if you've got more bass questions, then let's have them. Last week we had 7 or 8 people coming in and off the chat via video. So if you want to do that, I'm looking at my inbox here. There's no one looking to come on at the moment. But if you want to come on, ask some bass questions, then feel free. If I can help, more than happy to do so. That's what I'm here for. That's what the channel's here for. Help you guys out as much as I can. Sounds. I haven't got the headphones on, so I don't know. Yeah. It's a bit bright, that. Yeah, new strings needed. They're coming. So if you got any questions about bass guitars, bass amps, cabinets, speakers, effects pedals, gig bags, strings, how to set a bass up, how to put a pedal board together, you got problems with your bass gear, fire those questions away. Put your insertion point in the text box. Write your message, press return, and it'll fire up here on my chat window. Now let's see. I'm going to try a little experiment. So we tried this the other week and the camera stalled. So let's see if I can do it again and get it to work. Okay. No, don't think. Will that work? I don't know. Share. Right, screen sharing is screen sharing works best on a good computer, right? Okay, some screens let you share audio. Look for the not sure it's going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work because all you're going to see is what I'm seeing, which is the same as what you're seeing anyway. Let's see if I can. Is there an option there? So I wanted to try and show you something on the Alembic site, but I don't think it's going to work. Okay. I need to that might have been what I wanted. No, I don't know what I'm doing there. Right, I have to work that out for another live chat another time. I was trying to share something from the Alembic site to you fine people. But yeah, if anyone's got $41,000 they could lend me for a Series 2, I'll happily take you up on the offer. Not that I need it. I don't. When am I going to use it? Okay, Thomas, another question. I bought GK MB212 combo and it's a bit noisy. Is that normal? When you say it's a bit noisy, is that noise increased when you increase the treble, or is it noise coming from a fan? Because some of those combos have got inbuilt fans in case they get too hot, and people do complain that the fans can get noisy. And that's actually on most Class D amps that have fans fitted. So I'll wait for you to reply to that. Sometimes if it's a noisy fan, the manufacturer knows of the problem because lots of people will have complained about it, and they'll either have a workaround or a hardware remedy for it. Noise from the speaker. Okay, if you turn the top end down, so the treble and the high mids, does that noise go away? Fan is horrible. See, I've never had an amp that had a noisy fan. I've got a Trace Elliott Elf that gets very hot. Thank God for the fan in that, because otherwise it would fry. Brownie points for anyone that could tell me what Yes song that was. Let's have a look. Oh, Puck 27 got it. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Glad to know someone knew what that was, or both of them. Same album as well. Epiphonium, welcome. I don't think you've been here on my chat before, but you're very welcome here. I got my first bass, an Ibanez Geo GSR 100X, and I'm liking it so far. Well done, Puck 27. Gold star for you, my man. And I'm liking it so far. I've played some before from a Fender P-Bass to a Spectre, but I'm low budget. That's okay. It's whatever works for you. Are you playing in bands, Epiphonium? Are you already out playing, or is that what you tend to do? Thank you to all the new people on the chat tonight. Lots of people I've never seen before, so you're very welcome here. And thank you to all the new subscribers. Where's the camera? There. Thank you to all the new subscribers as well. Lots of new subscribers this week. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the likes, the comments, the shares, super thanks payments, the merch purchases. It's all good. I'll call you Alf. Sorry. Epiphonium, home recording now. All my bandmates have passed. Oh, okay. That's a shame. Okay. Well, happy recording. Happy home recording. Still addicted to music. Excellent. Good stuff. Keep going. Well, I hope you find the channel useful. If you've not been here before, either for the live chats or any of the video content, take away whatever you can from the videos. If you need any help or you watch any of the videos and you think, I don't know what he means, leave me a comment. I'll reply and come back to you as soon as I see it. So I was very lucky at the weekend. So, as well as buying this, of course, it's a lovely beast. I had a gig with Uncle Funk on Friday, but they had a gig on Saturday, which I didn't know, and I don't know if they really knew at the time, but it was for Richard Hammond from Top Gear. And I wasn't on the gig. I was doing Queen tribute in Verwood down near Bournemouth. And thankfully, Richard Hammond has looks like they're going to be booking us for their New Year's Eve bash. But that wasn't the lucky bit. So I had Chris Childs from Thunder stood in for me with Uncle Funk. And yeah, very lucky to have a player of that caliber. That's his second gig covering for me. And actually, he got the Depping job because just as we were about to go into lockdown 4 years ago, he did a rehearsal for a gig for Uncle Funk, and then the gig got cancelled because of COVID. So he learnt up this whole set and never done a gig. And I don't tend to sort of miss too many. I pretty much do everything. But this year we've had 2 shows that clashed with other commitments that I had, and thankfully he's been available on both shows. So thank you, Chris, if you're watching, for doing a blinding job. Ow, I have a Hayek bass. It's my #1, miles better than my Alembics. Okay, I think it was made by a guy that worked for Alembic. Rick Turner, maybe? Have you ever heard of them? I can't say I have, but if you showed me a picture, which obviously you can't do, but let me have a look online. I might have seen one before. Or let's have a look. Hayek basses. Oh, look at that. That's rather nice. There's a lot of an alembicness about it, isn't there? Well, now there's a bit of Carl Thompson going on there as well. quite a bit. What's this? The last of the Hayek basses. There's obviously a thread about it on the Alembic Club. I'll have a look at that later. Let's just open that up in a new tab. I will check that out later on. How did you come across that bass? Was it something you went after, or you just sort of stumbled across it on your travels? It's miles better than your Alembic as well. In what respects? The way it's set up, the way it plays, the way it sounds? Just checking this. You blew the electronics on it, fitted it out with Bartolini preamps. Okay, sounds amazing. How long have you had that? I've never even heard of them. I've never heard of them. They look like Alembic inspired Exotica. You bought it in Manchester for 400 quid in 1985. Well, I know 400 quid in 85 was still a pretty penny. Oh, wow. Everyone that's heard it loves it. Excellent stuff. Well, you have to come on the live chat on video sometime and play it. Let's hear it. What's so good about it? Is it the feel, the tones? You will next time. Excellent. Everything but weighs a ton, as do Alembics. Or, well, apart from this one doesn't seem to. Sturdy, but it's not heavy. I will check those out. I'll do some background reading. It's very shiny. Excellent. The best things usually are. Strings are dead, man. Very good. So it's coming up on 20 past 10 here in London town, here in the UK. It's live chat 73 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner. Teeth just haven't gone in today, have they? If you've got any questions about basses, amps, pedals, cheers, Kev. You're off. That's you. Till next week. Take it easy. Have I ever been on Jamulus? No, I haven't. What is that? Tell me more. If you've never been here on the live chat before, you're very welcome. It's good to see you. We're a friendly bunch here. Come and talk bass. Talking basses, amps, pedals, accessories, strings, gear, great bass players, anything to do with bass. You can talk via the chat window, by text, or if you're really audacious, you can email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I send you an invite and you can come onto the chat by video. So if you've got questions or if you've got a problem with some gear and you need to show us, and if I don't know the answer, then chances are someone on here will know the answer. We're a fairly helpful bunch. Need to put some practice in this week, that's for sure. Right. Anyway, very happy with this. Very good. Okay, everybody, right? It's like FaceTime for musicians, and you can jam with musicians all over Europe with great quality. Oh, I haven't even checked that out. Problem is, I'd get on there, and I'd suddenly find most of my my day would fritter away. Steffi, you've got to go. Okay, bye everyone. See you next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you have a good week. Get cracking with the bass lessons and stuff. We'll hear from you next week. Give us an update. I'll have a look at that, Alf. See what I make of it. How does it work? Because obviously you could end up with like 20 bass players on there all at the same time. Do you like have to like book a slot and someone either determines who's playing with who, or is it like a bit of a raffle? It's just do you get selected, or I'll have a look at it. Jamulus. All these things to look at for next week. Huh. Okay. What is the golden rule of Jamulus? Let's have a look. Listening to yourself. What's that? Okay, I'll check it out. I will. I'll have a look at it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I will check that out, Alf. I'll have a look at that for next week. What other instruments have you got, Alf? What? So you got a couple of Alembics. You're going now as well. Okay, no worries. See you another time. Maybe next week. Take it easy. Have a good time. Okay, I think a lot of people are heading off for bedtime and what have you. We'll give this another 20 minutes or so. See where we are. Cheers, Alf. Take it easy. Have a good weekend. Although the weekend's so quite a way away at the moment. Just check the emails, see if anyone's coming on. No, nothing so far. Just check there's nothing in the spam folder. Nope, we're all good. See if I got that. I had a load of bass pictures that I wanted to show people on the live chat, and we couldn't get it to work a few weeks ago. So let's see if I can live chat files. Okay. Let's see if I can put a picture of this up. Let's give this a go. Now, it might make the camera freeze or it might not. So let's see. It could. I'm not sure how I'll do this. It all goes a bit spacky. I can't do because it's not a slide. I have to do this another time. I have to convert the pictures into slides, unfortunately. Okay. Well, lots of suggestions for new things to be checking out. Yeah, it's got to go on the workbench for a few little adjustments, I think. I look forward to getting that out on some gigs. It's going to sound great. Very good. Very good. So here we are. It's just coming up to 10:30. Oh, it's actually just gone 10:30 here in London, in the UK. Thank you very much for everyone for getting involved this evening. Very much appreciated, of course. So we've got 6 people on at the moment. So I'll give it another couple of minutes and we'll see if things pick up. And if they don't, then we'll wind it down. But if it does suddenly pick up, and it has been known to, then we'll carry on. So if you've got any further questions about bass gear, basses, amps, pedals, strings, accessories, gig bags, great bass players, albums with great bass playing on, you just want to chew the fat, then come on, leave your message in the chat box. Once I see it, I'll respond to it. If you want to join in via video, send me an email at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com and I'll send you an invite so you can join in on camera. So yeah, as I said, got a gig this weekend with a band I've never played with. I don't know anyone in the band. It's one of those depping naked gigs where you just don't know, you've never met any of the people before. And looks like a good set list. Going to start running through that tomorrow. Try and actually do the whole thing tomorrow if possible. There's quite a few songs on there I've played before. I just need to know. I've been listening to the tracks for about a week. I just need to work out whether some of the frilly bits that one of the bass players is playing on the tracks I need to incorporate, or whether I can just play the standard version of it and his frilly bits are just that, frills, or whether they're syncopated lines with other instruments in the band. Keith Doherty, is that Google slide you have? Sorry, I can't see it because there's an emoji window there for me. Slap back. Right, I'll tell you what, I need to do it's just rubbish, right? Is that Google slide you have to convert images to? Yes, in order to show graphics. The other thing is a screen share, but it was saying it wanted to do that with 2 monitors, and also because I'm running on a laptop via Wi-Fi, I'd better do that using my desktop, because we tried that in the first week of using StreamYard, and the camera kept locking every time I tried to share anything with you guys. So I don't want to have to get caught up in that. I will get all of that working, because it would be great to be able to share pictures and videos with you guys to continue the discussion. Stacey's back from your hair cutting. Very good. Keith, Google Drive for your email account. Can people share images with that account? Yeah, I think so. If you want to show anything, yeah, I guess you can send me an email at the Gmail address, brooksy'sbasscorner@gmail.com, and I can see that. Because obviously the live chats don't allow you to share graphics, unfortunately, or links. Are you about to send me something, Keith? Or are you going to save that for next week? Not at the moment. Was thinking it could be a way people send images to you when online. Yeah. Or the other option is to come on the video chat, obviously. And actually, I don't know how that would work. You'd have to show me the screen. But if it's a laptop with a webcam built in, it'd be a bit difficult. Yeah, I get the gist. I get the gist. Yeah. Yeah. That's all good. Yeah, I mean, anytime between the live chats, because we're going to be doing every Tuesday up until middle of December. Sorry. If you want to send anything in the time between each live chat, feel free. You know, I'm monitoring that that email address all week, so no problem with that. That's too much red. That's better. So let's see where we are. 22:37, 22:38. Okay, I think I'm going to wind the live chat up for this evening because we're kind of slowing up a bit at the moment. So thank you very much, everyone who's got involved tonight, been on the live chat, guys. Thank you very much. We couldn't see, well, we could see and hear Dawson. I couldn't hear a thing when he tried to join us by video, but we'll get him on again next week, perhaps. So have a great week with your bass playing. If you've got gigs coming up, I hope they all go well. Keep checking out the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. Hopefully new videos going up this week. I've just got to get my work done tomorrow for this debt band, and then I can hopefully get some content up later tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. There's plenty there. I've just got to have the window of time that I need to promote the videos by social media. So we'll get there. So thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for the people getting involved in the live chat. George, see, cheers everyone. Stacey's off as well. Very good. Thank you, Keith, for all your messages. Very much appreciated. We'll see you next Tuesday, 8 o'clock here in London town for more bass chat here on Brooksy's Bass Corner. It'll be live chat number 74. 74 of these we'll have done. So have a great week. Enjoy your bass playing. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Take care. All the best.